You did? Okay. Now do you want to do that to all of them? Wait. You want to do a star pattern whenever you loosen or put the lug nuts back on. So you go to the opposite bolt or lug nut. And now she's really getting the hang of it. No, if you don't have proper leverage, put it the other way so you can step on it. No, use your body weight. If you do that, you're going to pull a muscle. Yes. So go here, step on it like you did before. Exactly. Wasn't that easy?
Yes. Is that it?
That's all of them are loosened.
That's it, right?
You did them all?
I think so.
Let's verify. Yep, that was good. It's good. All right. So you don't have to be off, just
Loose.
all broke.
Okay.
And they are.
You want me to go back?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, earlier, I know we talked about it. The vehicle is already in park, and the brake is on. It's a foot brake. And the only other thing you want to make sure when you're actually doing this is to have your hazards on. Okay? All right, so we'll turn them off, but I just wanted to demonstrate that. All right, so now that you have the lug nuts loose, you can jack the vehicle. Ricky, would you like to jack the vehicle?
Absolutely.
You have experience, yes? So take notice that you have your jack on a level surface, which is optimally what you want. Otherwise, the vehicle could tip off center of the jack.
Oops.
You missed it. I have a question.
Yes.
What's the difference between that crank that goes like that and the one that goes?
The jack that you're talking about,
Oops, sorry, my bad.
That's a lot more.
that goes like this, up and down,
Uh-huh.
is like from the 1970s.
Oh, they don't use that in the present
No.
time?
Now, unless you have a vehicle from that era.
Okay, why, it doesn't work on a tire of
No,
this era?
because the bumpers aren't built to fit it,
Oh, my bad.
and it won't fit
So it's
the.
just for compact size?
This is pretty much the standard in most vehicles today.
Oh. Well, thank you, sir.
She did that right.
So you want to get the tire off the ground. You're almost there.
That's too much trouble. AAA.
Triple weight. All right, so to see if you're high enough, push on the top of the tire and it loosens those lug nuts.
We loosen enough.
Okay, so turn them just slightly so that they're loose. They should all be pretty much finger loose. And if they're not, just pinch in it.
So how loose do you have to make them, sir?
Well, right now we're just verifying the height of the tire. If you can't tell that there's air beneath the tire in the ground, then you can push on the tire.
It looks like it's still touching the tire.
Yeah, it could still be on the ground.
So it has to be off of the ground?
Yeah, it has to be off the ground so that you can pull the tire off. Otherwise, you're still gonna have pressure on your lug nuts
Oh.
or your bolts for the
Okay.
lug nuts, and you won't be able to pull it off.
So how much weight does that jack?
Oh, I don't know what the weight standard is, but that came with the vehicle, so it'll handle this vehicle.
Okay.
So, a jack from another vehicle might not be
If it's a
okay to use
scissor,
on mine?
if it's a scissor jack like this, or like your original, then it should be fine.
So why is this that the jack looks like it's a little like this?
It's because of the frame.
Oh, okay.
Right now he's sitting in the support of the frame.
He should be able to unscrew it with his hands, right?
Yeah, just to that point.
Thank you for participating in this. Appreciate the help. It's fun.
So you should be just barely off the ground at this point, right?
Alright. Good.
Move your tools out of
Should
the way.
you should, who's gonna be pulling that out?
No, I was gonna have Natalie put the spare on,
Okay.
so
Okay.
Ricky can take the tire off unless Natalie wants to muscle it off. All right, so Ricky, bring the tire over here.
This tire looks nasty.
And lay it flat like this. And scoot it underneath the vehicle. And that way, if your jack fails for any reason, it's Natalie, would you like to put the spare on? Alright, first off, how do we know which way the spare is supposed to go?
I don't know.
I don't know, that way, I don't know.
Like that.
Yeah, that looks like more sense, because if you put it this other way, you're gonna look like a hot rodder.
Do you think that actually
So it's just for
happens?
looks, or is there
No,
a
it's
functional
for
reason?
appropriate support,
People do that?
because you're gonna center the support within the hub.
So, how do you know when a tire is good? That tire looks crappy. Is it good?
Alright, let's pause for a second. Alright, so there's a question on how good this tire is, this spare. Well, as before, you want to make sure you have proper tread. And here you can see it's plenty deep enough. This spare has been used, but it's still good. On the side of the tire, it says inflate to 60 psi. So if you perform monthly tire maintenance, inflation on your vehicle tires, always check this one too to ensure it's properly inflated. Because if you're out on the road and you have your flat, it's not going to do you any good to have your spare be flat. So this is a tire pressure gauge. The air blows out the needle to the tire pressure. Alright, this is slightly under. Actually, it's a lot under.
And what do you do in that case?
We have to air it up. So right now this is at about 38. So that tells me that when I had my vehicle serviced,
Show me one more
they
time.
didn't service my spare.
Show me the numbers one more time. The 38. Just stay right there. I can see right where you're at. Okay. Oh, okay.
So it should actually be at 60. And this tire gauge will probably go to 60, but it's only marked 50.
Okay,
But
thank you.
I will air it up. So when you have your vehicle tires rotated or you're due your monthly, well, if you have it serviced, your maintenance man should check the spare. However, it's always good to ask them to do it because they will probably overlook it. They would use an inflation tool like this, which has a pressure gauge on it.
You said that's 60?
Yes,
That's a lot.
right here, it says 60 PSI. So we're going to use this to inflate our spare. Right now, it's at about 40, which is what our gauge said. So as you can see, we're at 60 now. So I can disconnect. And we know we're at a safe tire pressure. The other thing to remember is once you have your spare on, you need to go and get it, your original tire fixed and get the spare off because this is temporary means. And usually you're not supposed to drive more than 50 miles, but check your owner's manual because they'll specify how long you can drive on.
Is there a speed limit for how fast you can drive on a donut?
I don't know if there is, but I would recommend no more than 55. Your manual might specify that.
So, how dangerous is it to drive a donut in rainy weather?
I don't know, but you're not going to have the same tire width as this. So you don't have as much grip on the road. And this is your, for this vehicle, this is your drive tire.
Is it?
So-
I'm sorry.
You don't want to be putting all that pressure on a tire that's not built for everyday use.
So if you were to use that donut every day for a week, you have a chance of getting a blowout.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if it's accurate, but is it true you have to like if you put a donut on, you have to rotate your tires and put a donut on either the front or the back? I think I remember hearing that it was like you had to
Well, if
always
you're,
put the donut on the back of the car and then
if your flat's on the front, that's where your donut's going to go. Because how are you going to switch the tires around?
oh, because you only have one joint.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. So you put the spare wherever you have your flat because that's what it's intended for. And get it fixed as soon as possible. Don't drive around for a week or better on the spare tire. All right, so let's put the cover back on, and Natalie, you're gonna put this on, right?
That's what I'm told.
All right, so when you put this on, line up your lugs and gently slide it on. You don't want to damage the threads as you put it on. It should be small enough
I still caught you.
to where you can lift it. And just give it a slight turn to the left or right to get it, push it all the way on. And you see your center? You want to make sure this is pressed through, which it is. And we're lug nuts. So put yourself a lug on. If you're by yourself, you're going to be grabbing these.
How do you put the love knots? The same way you...
Actually, I'm glad you asked that because she's putting them on backwards.
Oh no, is that wrong?
The lug nuts, if you can see, have a cone shape.
Oh,
And if you don't have a cap on one end, you could put it on either way. You have to put the cone shape towards the rim because it sinks in and it prevents it from shimmying.
also that's the side that your tool fits on.
Yes, this is the tool side. The hex.
Say it again, Natalie. Oops.
Oops.
So you want to just get them all loosely installed, and you're going to use the star pattern to snug them up. Now, wiggle your tire. Okay, you don't want any wiggle. If you do, then you don't have your lugs all the way snug down. You should be able to do this with your finger.
But I feel like you can't.
Well, that's what you wiggle the tire, and that gives you your play.
Oh,
See?
well, that's handy.
And as long as you're in here, this is your hub onto your rim. This has to be perfectly centered. Your lugs have to be perfectly centered with the holes. And once you have it finger tight, yes. So say if you say you start on the top, you're gonna don't torque it. Just do you finger tighten it, just snug it a little bit, and go to your star pattern like that. And then once they're snug, we know they're in a tight configuration. And then we'll do the final tightening in the same manner. So that star takes any of the play between the lugs.
So you have to do it into a
So-
star formation?
When exactly is the importance of doing it in a star pattern?
When you do a star pattern, you're creating even pressure. If you start here and you work your way around, you're also putting the pressure around uneven. So this puts even tension on these lugs
Okay.
and the rim.